Sharing some words of Torah tonight, it's my pleasure to invite up Jackson O'Brien.
In this week's Torah portion, Hukat, the theme of death echoes throughout. From the laws for repurification after contact with a corpse, to the death of Moses' sister Miriam, and then the death of his brother Aaron, it is a constant idea. The first death of the Parsha is Miriam's. After her death, the Israelites take very little time to grieve and seem to get over it pretty quickly. However, Miriam's death also means that their source of water, the miraculous well of Miriam, has now dried up. This left the Israelites in the arid desert, thirsty with nothing to drink. Rabbi Zoe Klein-Miles mentions an interesting perspective on the lack of sadness about Miriam's death. She states that by linking the phrase, Miriam died there, Numbers 20-1, with the community was without water, Numbers 20-2, rabbinic imagination ties the community's apparent apathy to Miriam's death with their lack of water, equating grief with thirst and comfort with water. When the Israelites begin to angrily complain to Moses about their thirst, God tells Moses and Aaron to gather the people in front of a certain rock. They are told to speak to the rock, and it will give forth water. But in a fit of frustration, Moses strikes the rock to make water flow from it, disobeying God's orders. Because of this act of anger, God tells Moses and Aaron that they could never enter Israel. Many lessons can be taught from this well-known story, and Moses' rash decision is something many of us can relate to. When we are experiencing turmoil, it can be very easy to lash out. If something as simple as heat, hunger, or thirst can lead to us being snappy and saying or doing things we don't mean, we must think about how large events can affect our emotions and decision-making skills. Many of us may have our own rock in our life, a steady foundation that we can depend on and will always support us. We must remember that Moses' mistake of lashing out at his rock holds true for us too. We often get angry at the people we love, even if the underlying issue is not their fault. Just like Moses' decision to strike the rock, this will do more harm to us than good. Because of his rash decision, Moses will lose his community and support system. Aaron will die before reaching Israel, and then Moses will spend his last years of his life longing to enter. As I prepare to leave for college, I have found myself reevaluating who I consider part of my foundation. Is it worthwhile to make the effort of communication? How will I keep my bond with my rock when we are almost 300 miles away instead of our usual 3 miles? I found it helpful to think of my life as a skyscraper. Without a solid foundation, it's impossible for me to grow. And if I let one rock crumble, the whole building can come crashing down. In order to prioritize our growth as humans, we must prioritize those who are important to us as well. And we must remember that as difficult as it may be, our rocks, who treat us with unconditional love and support, deserve to be respected no matter our condition. Our loved ones and our community members are here for us, and by rejecting their help, we are doing a disservice to them and an even greater disservice to ourselves. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.